Welcome to today's video. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing to the channel, or if you know somebody who might find me mildly amusing or interesting, consider sharing this page with them. So today's video is a little bit different because, as you may or may not know, for the last 9 weeks I've been doing a Garmin training plan. I set that plan up with a goal of doing a sub 45-minute 10k. Now the plan itself was set to be 12 weeks. I got that extended to 18 weeks by putting in a race date. I always felt at that time that 18 weeks was a bit of a stretch, and I wasn't always that excited about the training schedule and what they had in the calendar for me. Nevertheless, I wanted to show people on YouTube what the plan offered and what it was like, and whether you could achieve your goals if you followed it. A little bit of background: I'm not a short distance runner really. I haven't focused on speed ever really in my running, so coming off the back of a 50-mile ultra, I wanted to see if I could use that base to push myself forward into some speed work. So what I'm going to do is leave you with the video that I shot today, and then at the end I'll join you and I'll share with you the update and my thoughts on the plan itself. You join me at 6:30 on a Wednesday morning for my attempt at 10k PB. As you know, I've done 8 weeks now of speed training with the Garmin Training Plan, and with my race being the 31st of October, it's going to be another 2 months plus of this same routine, and I've definitely noticed an improvement of speed, don't get me wrong, but it's not giving me that same real lift and excitement about running. I'm finding it a little bit, I'm finding it difficult to get really excited about it. But anyway, I thought, when I looked at today's workout, it was goal pace repeats, 9 by 800. So we're getting close to a 10k distance with the 3-minute recovery. So typically I'm running the 800 and recovering with the extra 200 meters and then calling that a kilometer. So I just thought today I'm going to come to the usual loop, and it's going to be about 30 loops here. But I just figured, why not give it a go? Give it a go and then let you know actually what my progress is. I think my fastest time for a 10k in a race, and it's the same race I'd be doing in October, it's in the 50s. I'll put up on the screen now what it is, but it's not in the 40s. And so whatever happens today, I figure I stand a good chance of getting some sort of PB. Obviously, if I can get it under 45 minutes, that gives you some indication that this plan is working, because before I started this plan I was just doing ultra training, and my running was slow pace, and it was all about kind of endurance and nothing to do with speed at all. So I didn't do a baseline beforehand because I just didn't, but I'm gonna give this a go. So I'll periodically turn the camera on, but I do want to focus on this because I want to really get my best shot. So wish me luck, and I'll see you soon. Just gone through 5k, 21:50, 4:22 average. Remember, goal pace is 4:30 average. 5k to go. This is hard work. Just completed my 10-minute cool down walk. When I get home, what I'm going to do is go through the stats with you, go through the splits, share with you a bit more insight into how I was feeling and what I was thinking during that 10k run, and then talk also about the Garmin training plan and what sort of I'm going to do next about that, and ultimately, did it work? We have the splits here, and as you can see, the first kilometre was at 4:29. It actually took me about 900 metres before I could get it below 4:30, so not the most promising start. And then from that point I started to settle in. When it got to 5 kilometres, I knew that I was on track, but I still needed to keep going because it wasn't quite in the bag at that point. I bought myself a little bit of time, a couple of seconds, and you can see that the pace is always below 4:30. from 7 kilometres onwards, it was actually really difficult. Legs start to feel pretty tired, start to feel a bit dizzy. We go around in circles. You can look at the route there and see that it's just a looped course and goes round and round and round. By kilometre 8, it came out at 35:01, so I knew that I had 10 minutes essentially to get under 45 minutes, which mentally was promising, but also I didn't want it to let it play on my mind and give myself too much room to actually move towards 5 minutes per kilometre. And then the last kilometre there, 4:16, final sprint finish, and that concludes the 10-kilometre workout for today. There it is. Okay, so you've seen the splits there. You've seen the run today, and I suppose the big question is, does the Garmin training plan work? And the answer, of course, is yes. I think there are some limitations with the plan. I feel like it's something that's really useful for individuals who want a structure. And I definitely needed some structure to get me started. I was a bit disappointed with the variety of workouts. And granted, in the remaining weeks, the workouts could have changed slightly, but it does revolve more or less solely around speed repeats, goal pace repeats, the occasional long run and the occasional hill repeat. And for me, I was just losing enthusiasm for running, and I felt like I wanted to draw it to a close sooner than planned. But ultimately, of course, had I not done the distance and time today, I would have continued. But I wanted to see whether doing it for 9 weeks or so has allowed me to build that confidence in my legs and the ability over everything else to produce that result. And I was lucky today. I was fortunate that everything came together. I had a good morning running because I don't be fortunate in terms of I didn't work hard for it, but sometimes when you get out the door, it doesn't feel so good. And today did feel like one of those days where it all fell into place. So I would certainly recommend the Garmin training plan for people that are looking for structure, looking to gain some insight into the types of workouts you can do. Now, for me, I've got some choices. When I go onto my Garmin Connect app, I can either choose to stay with the plan, pause the plan. By pausing the plan, it does alter what happens when you then kickstart the plan again, or I can quit the plan. I'll be choosing for the time being to pause it, but it's likely that I will then draw the plan to a close so I can get back to doing some training kind of on my own terms. I will continue, however, to include a speed repeat workout, and now I've used those workouts, they do remain on my watch so I can access them again in the future. I think speed repeats are going to be integral as part of my training moving forward, regardless of distance, to make sure that I involve those in my training cycle. I have enjoyed them, and don't get me wrong, it's been a really insightful and quite an amazing thing for me to see what my legs have been able to do, especially off the back of my 50-mile ultra. But for me, the shorter distances and chasing those times are still something that I don't feel myself drawn towards them. I'm quite happy to continue with the longer distances and the challenge of that. So hopefully you found this series, albeit cut slightly short, enjoyable, informative, insightful, and you may well consider using the Garmin training plan yourself. And certainly it produced results for me. And if that's something that you really want and you desire to get those results, then a plan like this is for you. Thanks again for sticking with me through this training plan, and I'll catch up with you in the next one.